In this section, I'm going to look at Martha's Rule to dig into a really, really key element of escalation culture, which is learning and curiosity. So we've spoken about power dynamics already, and Martha's Rule is actually a really brilliant sort of leveler of those dynamics, because our unconscious power biases, as we've discussed, make us less likely to see or hear things from patients and staff, particularly those with less power. That means we're more likely to be a little bit overconfident in our own ideas. We really are, which, to bring us back to that O'Neill study, is another noted barrier to escalation. And Martha's Rule is a cracking safeguard against this. The really interesting and also challenging aspect of Martha's Rule is that the escalation request can come from anywhere, other staff, patients, their families. And in doing this, it's an opportunity for a quite clear look at what we didn't see or what we missed or maybe what we got wrong. So whilst this is really useful, it does bring with it a risk, which is that people might feel blindsided or upset that their decisions haven't been kind of respected or seen as the right answer. A very, very human response, especially in those stressful environments. So we might need to support both ourselves and our teams to frame Martha's Rule, not as a challenge, but as a genuine opportunity for learning. The challenge here is that there is a lot of cultural messaging that tells us that good professionals, and especially good leaders, are strong, they get things right, they don't make mistakes. And that is just a lie. The best leaders do make mistakes, but they learn from them and they share their learning. The best leaders openly say, I don't know. If they can do that, they will get better outcomes for their patients, and that will set a really, really good example for things like Martha's Rule. To be that leader, the most important aspect is modelling those behaviours. You need to embrace this learning opportunity. You need to model it. You need to be open to being wrong. And in fact, sometimes you need to want to be wrong so that you can learn and demonstrate that learning. Learning here is a little bit of a cheat code. The sort of learning frame of mind is one in which, as we position ourselves as learners, there is less judgment because we sort of accept that we're missing key information from the off. There's less status jostling because you're not trying to kind of assert yourself as someone who knows, but opening yourself up to not knowing everything. And you're going to be actively seeking information from lots of different sources to solve the puzzle that is our patients or our cases or whatever problem it is that we're facing. And indeed, the science of curiosity suggests that if you can frame your work as a puzzle to be solved, whichever element of your work that it is, that kind of puzzle mentality, it makes people really receptive to new information from lots of different spaces. And that is really what Martha's Rule is about, providing that extra information to really solve your puzzle. And that is what saves lives. So if we're looking for a mantra, and you can tell that I love mantras, when faced with something like Martha's Rule, a useful mantra might be something like, great, another piece of the puzzle. If you demonstrate that, your whole team will pick up on your emotional response, will pick up on the way that you react, and the seeds of that culture, that learning culture around escalation, can really, really be sown.